Introducing Magpie's newest product, Give Me Strength Plus, which is an innovative rubber base and strengthening gel combined. Perfect for short, medium or strong natural nails, it can be applied in thin layers and small beads. At Magpie, we offer lots of options for a prescriptive manicure, and Give Me Strength Plus is an excellent addition to our collection and can be used with other gel systems in the Magpie range. You want to start off by prepping all 10 nails. This can be done with a combination of hand tools and e-file, but today I'm just showing you how to prep with hand tools. The first step is to gently push back the proximal nail fold. I'm using the spoon end of the Duke cuticle tool, and then using that tool to loosen and lift away any dead cuticle cells. Switching to the blade end of the tool will make it easier to remove the non-living tissue from the nail plate, and just make sure to dust away as you go. Now using the Queen cuticle tool and just using the corner to slightly go under the proximal nail fold to remove any cuticle cells that may be hiding away. Taking my size 8 king nippers, I am gently removing any skin that is white and dry. You don't want to tug at the skin with your nippers, you just want to gently take your time and pull away after each cut. Here I'm just going back in with my Duke tool and using the blade end to make sure that all of those cuticle cells have been removed from the nail plate, including down the side walls, as you can see here. We don't want any of those cuticle cells to be left on the natural nail, as that is going to interrupt how the gel adheres to the natural nail plate. Next, I'm using a 240 grit zebra file. Just make sure that the edges have been scored whenever you're using a new file so that you don't damage the skin. You want to use the straight side of your file rather than the curved side to shape the free edge, as it's much easier to get a neater finish because you can get the file right underneath the free edge. And then check the nails from all angles to see if your shape is even. Then we want to use the same file to gently etch the surface of the nail to ensure good product adhesion. Using the curved side of the file around the cuticle area, don't use too much pressure. All you want to do is remove the shine from the surface of the nail. The filing action could be coming towards you in the direction of the nail growth. Just be careful not to over etch the nail plate. We only want the file to be passing over each part of the nail 1 or 2 times. For some of those harder to reach spots like the corners and the side walls of the nail, you can use the Sur tool and the adhesive nail pads that attach to it. Make sure you keep the plastic cover on this end of the tool because it's really sharp. So this is the end you'll need to use, and the little adhesive nail pads come in packs and different grits. We're going to be using the 240 grit today. So just taking out one of the sheets, and then the little individual nail pads have a sticky film on the back which you want to peel off, and then stick that onto the end of the serre tool. So these are really handy for just gently rubbing over the areas that need a little bit more attention, that might be harder to get to with your regular file. You can use this all over the nail instead of the zebra file if you prefer. I usually like to just use a combination of the two. For your final prep step, you need a lint-free wipe and your prep and dehydrate liquid. Each nail needs a really good scrub all over, including underneath the free edge. This will remove any pathogens and dehydrate the nail ready for your product application. Once you've completed this step, your client shouldn't touch anything, otherwise you'll need to repeat this step again, as any oils or contaminants on the surface of the nail plate will affect how long your gel manicure lasts for. So you just want to wait for that nail to fully dehydrate. You can just see it evaporating on the nail there. And when the nail looks sort of white and chalky, then you are ready to go in with your gel application. When working with gel products, you will always need to have a fine detailer or striper brush to help guide the product and smooth out the surface of the nail. So I'm now just going to show you a full set of Give Me Strength Plus on my client. This was using the shade Bear. And to start with, I'm just applying a nice even layer, a base layer, all over each of the natural nails and curing for 60 seconds. So this is optional, but personally when I'm working with a kind of rubber base product, I like to paint 2 nails at a time and then cure, just to make sure that product doesn't move. I don't want it to run into the side walls at all. So I just like to apply 2 nails, pop it into the lamp and then switch to the other hand. But obviously, if that doesn't work for you, if you like to do all 5 at once, if you like to do 1 at a time, it's personal preference, whatever works best for you. So this clip has been sped up slightly, but just so you can see the rest of the nails getting the base layer application of the Give Me Strength Plus. Once your base layer has been applied to all 10 nails, I'm now going in with a very small bead of product on the end of my brush, placing it at the cuticle area and gently feathering the rest of the product down the nail. Once you're happy with the product placement, you can then use your detailer brush just to guide the product into any areas that you think aren't quite smooth or are slightly uneven. And as soon as you're happy, you're going to pop that straight into the lamp. I would always suggest to work on one finger at a time when applying your bead of product. As soon as you're happy, pop the hand straight into the lamp so that it doesn't have time to move around and ruin your hard work. Then you can start working on the other hand while it's curing. The reason we go in with the larger bead of product and place it at the cuticle area is so that we create a small apex on the natural nail, and this is going to create structure and provide you with much more strength and a hard-wearing manicure. So you may have noticed as I'm working on my client that I'm not using a slip layer before I go in with my bead of product. This is totally personal preference. I've used on some clients with a slip layer and some clients without. It's really going to vary on which method you prefer and how you like to work. Give Me Strength Plus is a very fast self-leveling product. It's important to apply thin layers and small beads of product to prevent flooding of gel onto the skin. If you're noticing that the product is flowing into the side walls or the cuticle area, it could be a sign that you're either using too much product or you may need to work slightly quicker. It isn't the same application as a builder gel. You may be using much more product when you're using a builder gel. With the Give Me Strength Plus, you do need to use much less. It may also depend on your client's nail type. If they naturally have quite a high C-curve and product does tend to run, then you may prefer to work without a slip layer. It's always the same with any new product. It will just take a little bit of trial and error to see which method you prefer. Again, I'm just coming in with my detailer brush as the aim is to get the nail as smooth as possible before curing so that I don't have to refine the product with a file afterwards. Obviously, you can refine if you feel like you need to once the product's cured at the end. You're just going to remove the inhibition layer and then just taking a very soft, either a 240 grit zebra or even a buffer, just to smooth out any imperfections if needed. The great thing about this product is that it is super strong without having to use too much of it. Especially for shorter nails that may look too bulky with builder gel, you can get amazing results using a small amount of this product. And it's also great for those clients that are prone to pocket lifting, as it really helps to minimise this issue. So here are the finished results using Bare Give Me Strength Plus, and it's a nice smooth application. I didn't have to refine at the end, so you could go straight in with your Magpie gel colour or just apply a top coat if you prefer it like this. Next up is another one of my clients who's having a Give Me Strength Plus overlay. She did manage to break the nail on her index finger, so I'm going to show you how to create a small extension using the Give Me Strength Plus. I'm using the shade Peony for this manicure, and again I'm just going in with that base layer on all of the nails and curing for 60 seconds before we move on to our next layer. For the application on this client, I did decide to actually use a slip layer this time, just so you could see the difference and so I could trial it out myself. I've been using it in different ways on different clients. So I'm just going in with that thin layer. Remember not to cure, because this is to help the product to flow on the nail a little bit easier and to move around a little bit quicker. So if you do prefer to work slower, this method may not work for you, but it's always best to try and see which you prefer. So again, I've just gone in with that really small bead and feathered it down the nail, used my detailer brush to smooth out the surface, exactly the same as what I did before. And again, one nail at a time only. So as soon as I'm happy, popping that nail straight into the lamp and making sure that it cures without moving. Just a couple of other things to note. Magpie Give Me Strength is HEMA-free, up to 4 weeks wear time because of the exceptional adhesion to the natural nail, although we do recommend coming for an infill between 3 to 4 weeks. The product offers an easy soak off, but if there are no issues, you can perform an infill at each appointment rather than a full removal and reapplication. Give Me Strength Plus is available in bottles and pots to suit different users, and it has 8 different shades, including clear, a nice variety of pink, peach and nude shades to suit various skin tones. You can use Give Me Strength Plus as a rubber base alongside our other gel systems, Original Give Me Strength, Build It, Build Me Up and Perfect Poly Acrogel. So it has lots of different uses. I'm going to fix this little broken nail here with the Give Me Strength Plus by sculpting a small extension. It's only designed to sculpt for 2 to 3 millimeter repairs, not for really long extensions, just to bear that in mind. You're going to need one of your Magpie forms to sculpt with. I'm using the FabFit forms here and I'm just customizing it slightly so that it's got a nice secure fit underneath the natural nail. We've not got any gaps for the product to bleed into, and this is really important. We do have other workshops on how to correctly fit forms. If you're unsure, you can have a little look at that, because this is a really important step. The form has to fit the nail correctly, otherwise your extension is not going to work and it's going to be very weak and it's going to break easily. So I've just had to cut a little section out of the form there to get a nice secure fit, and so that there's no gap underneath the natural nail. And then you need to secure your tabs underneath, and I'm just placing some small little cuts here with my scissors so I can get an even tighter fit underneath the free edge. The skin at the side walls of the nail can get in the way. That's why we place these cuts at an angle so that the form can get even closer. And once you've placed these cuts here, we're just going to make sure that the form is at the correct angle so that it's coming out nice and straight from the side walls and that it's not tilting down or poking up in the air. And then I'm just going to cut away the excess on these tabs at the bottom so that it can fit easily in the lamp and it's not going to move when the client puts the finger in. Then we're going to take a bit of a larger bead of product now, and we're going to go straight onto the form and creating that small little free edge there, making sure it's in contact with the natural nail as well. So I'm just working my way across the free edge and placing down the product. And then I'm going to switch to my detailer brush so that I can just guide it up to the side walls there, connect it to the nail and make sure that we don't have any gaps. So you do have to work quite quickly at this stage because you don't want the product to be running all over the form. Once you're happy and you've created that small little free edge, you're going to go straight into the lamp and cure. Once you've created that sculpted free edge, you're going to take the hand out of the lamp, remove the form, and then you can start to go in with your next layers of product. Because we have to work quite thin with this product, I've gone in with a second layer, which was another small bead, and that was all over the nail, feathered down towards the free edge. And now I'm just going in with a third small bead here. So I've just created the slip layer, gone in with that small bead of product on top to create the correct structure for a small extension. Once you've finished your product application, you're going to take your Prep and Dehydrate liquid and remove the tacky inhibition layer. And then we're going to take our 240 grit zebra file and we're just going to gently refine the free edge, so creating the same shape as the rest of the nails. It really doesn't take much effort at all to file this product. It files really nice and easy. So just ensure you are using a soft grit file, no more than 240 grit. And we're just gently refining the free edge shape here. And then we don't have to do too much refining on the top, on the surface, because it has leveled out nicely. But I am just going to give it a slight buff just to ensure that it's nice and smooth. And that's our little extension done. Hope you've enjoyed watching this workshop today on the brand new Magpie Give Me Strength Plus range. After watching this, if you still have questions or queries, any troubleshooting issues, please reach out to any of the Magpie Education team. We'll be more than happy to help and talk you through the process. If you need any more support, if you just want to share some good feedback and how much you're loving the products, then again, please reach out. We'd love to hear how much you are enjoying the products. And other than that, thank you very much for watching and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.